Hi, I'm going to do some circles area and circumference. Area is pi r squared and circumference is d pi r. I think circumference may be off the screen there, but we're going to go ahead and do this. So normally you'll have a circle and maybe you'll be given a radius of 6, in which case the diameter is twice that, or 12. That's something most people typically know. Circumference would therefore be 12 pi of whatever units I'm measuring in. This is an acceptable way to write the answer, unless you're told to write the approximate answer. In fact, in some cases, it's preferable. And then the area is just 6 times 6. So typically we put the number up front and the pi afterwards, so that's 36 pi. A similar kind of problem that I could do, which I give an approximation, is I'm going to make this smaller so everything fits. Maybe this is 5 for the radius there. So once again, my radius is equal to 5. Well, obviously my diameter there is equal to 10. But then if I wanted to do it as an approximation, I'm going to use 3.14 as pi, because pi is approximately 3.14. And that also may be off the screen. That's just on the screen. There's little pi squeezing on the screen. All right, so in this case, my circumference is going to be 10 times 3.14, or basically 31.4. This is really approximate, so maybe you want to make the squiggly lines there. And once again, it's units. And our area is approximately 5 times 5 times 3.14, which is 78.5, and whatever kind of units that we're talking about squared. So these would be units, units, and this is units squared. All right, so the only way I can make this more difficult, because this is just a number crunching problem, is maybe I start with the circumference and we work backwards. So if I start with a circumference for a circle of approximately 30 pi, then I have to, and I want to figure out these others. Well, the first thing I need to probably figure out is diameter, because we know that diameter times pi is equal to the 30 pi we've been given. And then it's simply a matter of algebra, and you could just almost intuit this, as we divide both sides by pi, and we get diameters equal to 30. The radius is 15, and finally, to find the area, it's just going to be 15 squared times pi, or 225 pi. And I'm not going to write my units. This is units, units squared. Similarly, I could give you another problem over here and do approximations. So I could give you a circumference, this is obviously not to scale, of 56.52. That's my circumference going around. That's C. And once again, we know diameter times pi is equal to 56.52. Since I've got an approximated answer, I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. I'm going to pretend that pi in the top is a 3.14. I divide both sides by pi. That pi and that pi go away. And I'm left with approximately 18. And then finally, the radius is obviously 9. And for area, I do 81, 9 times 9 times 3.14, which is 254.34, or about that. So once again, these should probably be approximate values. Oh wait, that's not approximate, that is actual. Okay, finally, one last problem. I'm going to scoot this all up. Once again, can make this harder by giving you area first. I'll give you a circle of area and tell you the area is 64 pi. So there are 64 pi little pieces that fit in that thing, or roughly about 200 little pieces that fit in that. I don't know if you can quite see that. That's supposed to be 64 pi for the area. All right, we're just going to work our problem backwards. 64 pi is my area, but we know area is pi r squared. We can divide out our pi again. We get 64 equals r squared. For this one, I don't even need a calculator. Square root of 64 is going to be 8. Our diameter is 16. And then, therefore, our circumference is 16 pi. Once again, our area was in units squared. This will be in whatever we're measuring in units. Last problem, if my area is approximately 12.56, same issue. I know 12.56 equals pi r squared. This was an approximate answer, so I'm going to divide by 3.14 and pretend as if my pi up there is actually a 3.14. Those will cancel out. I end up with r squared, in this case, equaling 4. Once again, an easy one, don't need a calculator, so r is just equal to. In this case, diameter is going to be 4. And when I do circumference, I'm simply going to do diameter 4 times 3.14, because that's my diameter, and I get 12.56 again. This is the one case where both your area and your circumference are identical. This is a coincidence. It doesn't happen except when the radius is 2, because radius squared is 4 and diameter is 4. Okay, that is all. I'm out of here.